Hello and welcome back to the channel again. So today in this video we will be going over my Fangorn army, and I'll be just running through basically how I come across building this army, how I converted some of the models, how they play in game, and just general things that I think are really good about the army. So what we'll do is we'll start off with a few of the models and then we'll take it from there. So obviously in a Fangorn army you have to have the main man himself, Treebeard. So this is the new Games Workshop's Treebeard. I did have the original old metal one, but he's now served a purpose for a few conversions. So this is the new Treebeard model. Such a lovely bit of kit. They also made him a lot larger than the original, because this model right here, his body is the actual original model Treebeard. So as you can see, the height difference between the two is quite a lot. I've modelled these basically on the part of the movie where they break out of Fangorn Forest and they go straight towards Isengard. So we've still got some little rocky bits of cliff here, still got a bit of mud, some leaves, things like that. I did add Merry and Pippin to the top, and I also did a few little conversions as well. So I reposed the arm a little bit, added some green stuff to it just to make it a little bit more dynamic. I added some little tufts of foliage to the back, just to give it another little element really, so it's not just like one static plastic model. He is such a lovely model. They've done such a great job on his kit. I was dead impressed when I got this in the post. I also have the little foot versions of Merry and Pippin as well, so if they dismount off him, they can then be used on foot. So I used generation shift bases for these ones. So these are I think they're called the Raven Hill bases, or the White Court bases. And the reason why I put these on these bases is because the Ents are now in Isengard. Merry and Pippin have dismounted, and they're now walking on obviously like cobbled brick, parts of old walls, things like that. So I wanted them to have that little element of difference to them. I have 6 Ents altogether. So I have another one here, which is one of the old classic metal GW ones. I've had this one for many years now. I think I got this in a trade with somebody. But he's such a great model, very dynamic. Even though he's quite an old model, he's still holding up against the test of time. I added some foliage to him as well, just to again give him a little bit of an element. Like that way, I can just tie them all in together as well, no matter what paint jobs I've got. For the foliage, I just used ordinary railway clump foliage that you can get from hobby stores. I attached it with super glue, and then I just used a watered down PVA and pipetted it on top, let it absorb, redone it again, just so it kind of hardens it so it's a little bit more sturdy in game. But again, he's a really nice model. Adds a little bit of variety to the army as well, which is really good. We've got the other classic GW Ent as well. So this one I went for more of a white colour, because I didn't want all brown. I wanted at least one of them to have like a silver birch appearance. And I think in the future I probably will make a willow tree or some sort of other tree, maybe a pine tree or something. But this is quite an old model for the GW range, but it still stands up really well. And the height wise as well, him and Treebeard are pretty much on the same height level, which is really good. But the amount of spares you get in these kits, you can then use the spares to make other Ents. So the spares that I got from the metal one there, and also this plastic one here, I incorporated into the other 3 Ents that I made, just to give them a little bit of uniqueness. And also because they do have GW parts on them, they are still tournament legal. So obviously he's got the clump foliage on him as well. Again, he's got like a little bit of a rocky base with some leaves and some tufts. And now we'll get on to the conversions. So the one model that I did for this army was kind of the reason why I built this army. I started off with him, and then I kind of took it from there, did some more conversions, thoroughly enjoyed doing them, and just the army kind of just took off from there, and now I have 6. My aim is to at the end of it have probably about 10. But this is the guy that got it all going. So he is a completely scratch built model. He's got, I'll try and remember where all the parts come from. So he's got metal Ent feet, so they're actually proper Ent feet. This arm is from the plastic Ent kit. This bottom of his arm here. This head here is from this metal kit here. Plastic arm from the plastic kit as well. Same with this little bit of tree here. Where is it there? This is from the metal Ent kit as well. Same with a few of these little greeblies on his back. But his torso is actually a real stick. So took the little one down the park, you know, just playing around the park. I saw a little stick on the floor. Thought, so that's quite a nice little size stick. You know, it looks quite nice. It looks quite natural. That'd be quite good for an Ent. So I used that as the body. Added a really, really thin layer of milliput around it just to give it a little bit of texture, because it was quite a smooth stick. But then obviously that gave me a good base to drill into, to attach the arms, to attach the legs. The legs are all green stuffed as well. And yeah, this is what I like about the Ent army, is you can literally make a scratch built model. It can look rough as hell, but it will still look like an Ent, as long as you've got twigs coming off a few shrubs, you know, and it looks odd, then you've got a really decent Ent. We've got another conversion here. So after I built him, I went onto the trade pages and I asked if anybody had some really old metal tree beards knocking about that were missing arms, legs, you know, scraps. Just the torso and legs I was after, ideally. And they came back, a couple of people came back with a couple of spare bodies and bits and pieces, and I purchased them. So he is the original metal tree beard body. So that's the original legs and the torso. The arms are from that metal Ent just there. The head as well, that is a spare head that I got given by a friend who had a spare one of these. So again, I used the head, just added a little clump of green stuff and milliputs at the back there just to secure it. Rolled it over with like a little thin piece of what was it, tin foil, I think, just to give it that kind of gnarled impression. Same with the torso as well, just added a bit more green stuff to the torso just so it didn't look like tree beard. And Bob's your uncle, there you go, you've got yourself another Ent. Literally just by using some spare parts, some green stuff. And that's how Ent number 4 was built. And again, we have this guy here. So this guy is more of a tree beard. So this is one of my actual original tree beards that I owned. I think I dropped him at some point and lost his head. So, you know, he was just there in a box for many years. Didn't realise I had him still. But that's Treebeard's original arms. Reposed, just bent a few bits on to look like he's making a different pose. So this one looks like he's pointing a bit. I used the plastic Ent kit. I used the head that come in that kit for the him. Added some little greeblies to the back, just some little spare plastic Ent bits off the plastic kit. Massive bit of green stuff behind his head, just to make it look like he's a bit more thicker. He's got more of a thicker trunk. And yeah, and that's pretty much how you can make an Ent. So I've got a few plans, obviously, to make some more in the future. So I'm planning on making a pine tree as well. So I've got to try and figure out how I want to do that. I'm not sure if I want to get a proper actual model railway pine tree, cut all the branches off, make something similar to this guy back here with a thin trunk, and then just stick them all in. As I do have a few spares left over from a few kits. Obviously I've got a few little bits left over from the Treebeard kit, so I could always make another little Ent through that. I want to make a willow tree. I want to make a really stumpy little fat one as well, little fat tree. And yeah, that's the great thing about this army, is you can literally make an Ent from anything. Even if you just got scraps of green stuff left over, you can pretty much just green stuff around something and then texture it and stick some arms and legs on it, and you got yourself an Ent. No one's going to question it because it's an Ent. You know, there's no right or wrong way to look like a tree. So, you know, that's what I really like about this army. I have played these a few times in tournaments as well. They are you do get very overnumbered by the enemy. Obviously, if it's in a high points game, so like 600 points to 800 points, you're looking at taking at least a few decent Ents, but you're going to get surrounded earlier on. So you have to kind of rely on their high strength and high defense to kind of keep you going. you need to throw models at every chance you can get, just to take out as many models as you can, just to kind of give you a little bit of a breather. They do play really well, but they are quite hard to kind of master in a way. So you have to kind of, you have to kind of play them in a way that you'd never normally play a model. But yeah, I say they are fantastic bits of kit. You can scratch build these things from anything and everything, so there's no right or wrong way of doing it. Obviously, I've got my plans to do an Eagle army at some point as well. Because as of now, I'm no longer officially doing commissions anymore. I've pretty much burnt myself out on the commission front, so I'm going to be taking a little bit of a breather for probably about a year or two, just so I can focus on doing some competition painting again. I've got quite a few armies of my own that I need to get painted. I've got an Easterling army that I want to get done, and now the new models for the Black Dragons have been released. I really want to get them sorted. I've got an Uruk-hai army as well that I bought off a friend that I want to get sorted. That's probably next on my list of things to do, as I really do like the Uruk-hai army, and that would look really cool against these in a scene, like posing a scene or something. I've got some plans for 40k as well, but it's going to be nice just to have a bit of a breather and just do what I want to do, really. Like last night, I just painted up a few more models for my Faramir's Rangers. So I painted up a nice little, if they focus, a captain and a banner bearer. So I just painted those up, stuck them on the basis, because I'm going to have a nice little Osgiliath contingent as well, like a little break-off unit, just a minus 2 with warriors. But yeah, so going forward, the plans really for this channel is, as of next year, I will be hopefully posting a video once a week. I'm going to aim for Fridays, because obviously you guys may finish work on Friday, you just want to chill out, maybe watch a little bit of YouTube or something. It's going to be easy for me as well, just doing one a week, because that's going to give me the opportunity to paint a little something each week and try and get that buzz back. I'm going to try and get back to a bit of competition painting as well, so I've got a few Lord of the Rings models that I want to paint for Iron Skull and also Golden Demon as well next year. So I will probably do a little painting video on them, just so you guys can kind of see my process on how I do things. And if I do make any more Ents in the future, I will do a little video on how I convert them as well, so that maybe you guys would be interested in seeing something like that. And yeah, so I hope you guys all have yourself a great weekend, and I shall see you all in the next video, which will hopefully be in about a week's time. So happy wargaming, everybody, and I'll catch you later.